Sutta. Okay, here we go. Yoga Sutra, Book 2, Sutra 27. Tasya Sabutathān Pranantam Bhūmiha Prajñān. Tasya Sabutathān Pranantam Bhūmiha Prajñān. Tasya Sabutathān Pranantam Bhūmiha Prajñān. Dasyati pratyuditakyateha pratyamanayaha. Dasyati pratyuditakyateha pratyamanayaha. Sabuddhati ashudutya varanamala pagama chichitasya Pratyayanantara nutapade sati Sabuddha prakaraiva prajñā vivekino bhavati. Number 2. Sabuddha. Okay, 2 versions. Sabuddhati Ashudutya Varanamala Bhagama Chichitasya Pratyayanantara Nutupade. Sabuddhati Ashudutya Varanamala Bhagama Chichitasya Pratyayanantara Nutupade. Sati Sabuddha Prakaraiva Prajñā Vivekino Bhavati. Okay, now second version. Sabuddhati ashudutya varanamala bhagama chichitasya pratyayanantara nudapade sati sabuddhataiva sabuddha prakaraiva prajñā vivekino bhavati. Sabuddhataiva. Okay. Once more. Sabuddhati ashudutya varanamala bhagama chichitasya pratyayanantara nutapade sati sabuddhataiva sabuddha prakaraiva prajñā vivekino bhavati. Okay. Tadyatā parijñātam heyam nāsya punaha parijñāyamasati. Double checking this. Kushvena heyahetabo na punareteshvam kushvatabiyamasati. Sakusha takaratam nirodhasamati. Tina hanama. Sakusha takaratam nirodhasamati cham. What is it? Tina. Sakusha takaratam nirodhasamati hanama. Okay. Pāvino viveka khyati rupam. Hanopaya iti. Pavinum viveka khyati rupo hanopaya iti. Ashva Chatushatai Karyan Vimukatiha Prajnayaha. Karya V. Karya. So they combine these two. Ashva Chatushatai Karya Vimukatiha Prajnayaha. Cetata Vimukati Sutu Tarayi Charita Thikarang Buddhitiha Guna Girishikara Tasha Tatter Juta Evam Ashva Chatushatai Karya Vimukatiha Prajnayaha Cetata Vimukati Sutu Tarayi Charita Thikarang Buddhitiha Guna Girishikara Tata Jyutang Ivan Gravano Niravasatana Savakara Noe Pralaya Pimukha Sahatana Satam Gajachananti. Second version. Rakuta. Rakuta. Okay, still on the first version. First version. Guna Girishikara Tata Tata. Guna Girishikara Tata Jyutang Iva Gravano Niravasatana Savakara Noe Pralaya Pimukha Saha Tena Satam Gajachananti. Guna Girishikara Tata. Guna Girishikara Tata Jyutang Iva Gravano Niravasatana Savakara Noe Pralaya Pi. Guna Girishikara Tata Jyutang Iva Gravano Guna Girishikara Tata Jyutang Iva Gravano Niravasatana Savakara Noe Pralaya Pimukha Saha Tena Satam Gajachananti. Okay, now second version. Good Rakuta Rakuta. Guna Girishikara Kuta Jyutang Iva Gravano Niravasatana Savakara Noe Pralaya Pimukha Saha Tena Satam Gajachananti. Na Jaishwam Pravili Nanam Bonarasati Utabadaha Prayojana Pavaditi. Na Jaishwam Pravili Nanam Bonarasati Utabadaha Prayojana Pavaditi. Etasyam Abasatayam Guna Sambananta Dityaha Sabaru Pamatara Jyotira Malaha Kevali Purusha Iti. Etasyam Abasatayam Guna Sambananta Dityaha Sabaru Pamatara Jyotira Malaha Kevali Purusha Iti. Etam Savadavitam prananta phumi prajnya manupasyanam purushoha kushala itya khyayate. Pranati prasavepi citatasya bhukataha kushala ityeva bhavati kunati tattvaditi. Pranati prasavepi citatasya bhukataha kushala ityeva bhavati kunati tattvaditi. Namaste. Okay. His intellective vision possessed of final ground is sevenfold. His means of the yogi qualified with the rise of intellective revelation. The spiritual observant cognition is sevenfold. One, from the absence of the dirt forming a covering of the impurities. Other notions of the mind are not produced. The observant cognition of the intellective yogi becomes sevenfold only, that is, simply of seven descriptions. These are as follows. The avoidable has been fully understood. Nothing more of it is left to be known. The causes of the avoidable have been destroyed. There is nothing more of them to be destroyed. The avoidance has been seen by the help of the inhibitive spiritual absorption. The means of the avoidance in the form of the intellective revelation has been developed. Thus, this is the fourfold material freedom of the intellective vision. The spiritual freedom is threefold. The intellect has finished its duties. The energies, just like stones detached from the edge of a mountain peak, getting no support and being ready for entering into their own cause, get lost along with the mind. There is no more production of the fully exhausted energies on account of the absence of necessity. In this state, the Purusha goes beyond the relation of the energies, and being the only light of his own manifestation, becomes pure and absolute. Thus the Purusha, having reflectively seen the sevenfold intellective vision, possessed the final ground, is said to be skillful. Moreover, he remains in fact free and skillful, even in the absence of the mind, because his position is beyond the energies. The second translation. For him, insight sevenfold and advancing in stages to the highest. The words for him refer to him in whom discernment is uprisen. The word sevenfold means that the insight of the discriminating after the removal of the defilements from the covering of impurity, when no other kind of presented idea is generated in the mind stuff, has just seven forms as follows. The thing to be escaped has been thought out, nor need he think it out again. The reasons for the thing to be escaped have dwindled away, nor need they dwindle away again. The escape is directly perceived by the concentration of restriction. The means of escape in the form of discriminative discernment has been cultivated. The means of escape in the form of discriminative discernment has been cultivated. So this is the fourfold final release belonging to the insight. So this is the fourfold final release belonging to insight which may be effected. But the final release of the mind stuff is threefold. The authority of the thinking substance is ended. The aspects like rocks fallen from the top of a mountain, The aspects like rocks fallen from the top of the mountain peak without support, of their own accord incline towards dissolution and come with this to rest. And when these are quite dissolved, they do not cause growth again, because there is no impelling cause. In this stage, the self has passed out of relation with the aspects and, enlightened by himself and nothing more, is stainless and isolated. The self, beholding this sevenfold insight advancing in stages to the highest, is denominated fortunate. Even when there is also the inverted generation of the mind stuff, the self is said to be released, fortunate, because he has passed beyond the aspects. Okay, Veda next, thank you. I love you, birds. Okay, Veda, Book 6, Hymn 34. Okay, I'm gonna take a little break. Okay, here we go. Namaste. 삼자 듭에 자금을 기라 이는들아 볼빌비자 드바디아는띠 비프보 마니쉐허 삼자 듭에 자금을 기라 이는들아 볼빌비자 드바디아는띠 비프보 마니쉐허 Purang Nunam Cha Sututaya Brashvinam Pasapurutram Inandre Atyukatai Purang Nunam Cha Sututaya Brashvinam Pasapurutram Inandre Atyukatai Puruhuto Yah Purugultam Rapvam Ekah Puruprashasato Asati Yajinyayah Puruhuto Yah Purugulta Rapvam Puruhuto Yah Purugulta Rapvam Ekah Puruprashasato Asati Yajinyayah Puruhuto Yah Purugulta Rapvam Ekah Puruprashasato Asati Yajinyayah Nato na Mahe Shavase Yujanos Ma Pirinendro Anumadio Put Nato na Mahe Shavase Yujanos Ma Pirinendro Anumadio Put Na Yam Hisam Himsananti Rato na Mahe Shavase Yujanos Ma Pirinendro Anumadio Put Na Yam Himsananti Titayo na Vanuirinendram Nakushananti Dapi Paltayananti Ha na yam himsananti ti tayo na banui rinandaram nakushananti dapi paltayananti ha yadi sudotaraha shatam yatashasaram gurunananti kilvanasam sham tadasmai na yam himsananti ti tayo na banui rinandaram nakushananti dapi paltayananti ha yadi sudotaraha shatam yatashasaram gurunananti kilvanasam sham tadasmai asmai etadati vialchai jena java masai mimikusha rinandre inandre nyane nyayami somaha kilvanasam sham asmai etadati vialchavam asmai etadati vialchavam masai mimikusha inandre nyayami somaha asmai etadati vialchavam asmai etadati vialchava masai mimikusha inandre nyayami somaha janam na tanambanan napi sam yadapaha satrangai vavaratul havanani yajanyaiha janam na tanambanan napi sam yadapaha satrangai vavaratul havanani yajanyaiha vavaratul havanani asmai etanam mahyang angusha masmai inandraya sudotra matipiravaji asmai etanam mahyang angusha masmai asmai etanam mahyang angusha asmai etanam mahyang angusha masmai inandraya sudotra matipiravaji asadhyathai mahati purataraturia inandro peshava yurabitai puratashacham Namaste. Okay. Full many songs have met in thee, O Inandra, and many a noble thought from thee proceedeth. Now and of old the eulogies of sages, their holy hymns and lauds have yearned for Inandra. He, praised of many, bold, invoked of many, alone is glorified as sacrifices. Like a car harnessed for some great achievement, Inandra must be the cause of our rejoicing. They make their way to Inandra and exalt him, They make their way to Inandra and exalt him whom no prayers and no laudations trouble. For when 100 or 1,000 singers laud him, who loves the song, their praise delights him. As brightness mingles with the moon in heaven, the Afrodisoma yearns to mix with Inandra. Like water brought to men in desert places, our gifts as sacrifice have still refreshed him. To him this mighty eulogy, to Inandra hath this our laud been uttered by the poets. To him this mighty eulogy, to Inandra hath this our laud been uttered by the poets, that in the great encounter with the foeman, loved of all life, Inandra may guard and help us. Okay, Upanishad next, thank you. I love you, bird. Hello. 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 차는 독이요. Okay, two shlokas. Here we go. Namaste. 우디아는 힘까라 우디따흐 프라스타보 마티암디나 우드기 토바라 흐너흐 프라티하로 서탐 야는 이타나 메타드 부러하다 디디에 프로타마 우디아는 힘까라 우디따흐 프라스타보 마티암디나 우드기 토바라 흐너흐 우디아는 힘까라 우디따흐 프라스타보 마티암디나 우드기 토바라 흐너흐 프라티하로 서탐 야는 이타나 메타드 부러하다 디디에 프로타마 우디아는 힘까라 우디따흐 프라스타보 우디아는 힘까라 우디따흐 프라스타보 마티암디나 우드기 토바라 흐너흐 파티하로 서탐 야는 이타나 메타드 부러하다 디디에 프로타마 사양 에바메타드 부러하다 디디에 프로탐 베다 대자스 비아는 나도 파바티 세바마 유레티 조그지바티 마하는 브라자양 바슈필 파바티 마하는 길디양 답하는 탐나 니는 데트따드 브라타마 Okay, last shloka, and after this is Mahabharata. One second. Yang evametad burahada aditya protam veda tejas vyananadom pavati sevama yureti yoga jivati mahanam brajayang pashupil pavati yang evametad burahada aditya protam veda tejas vyananado pavati sevama yureti yoga jivati mahanam brajayang 바슈필 파바티 마하는 길디양에 답하는 땀나 니는 따뜻따뜻 보라 땀을 I was okay. 사양 에바메타드 부러하다 아디티에 프로탐 베다 대자스 비아는 나도 파바티 세바마 유레티 조그지바티 마하는 브라자양에 바슈필 파바티 마하는 길디양에 답하는 땀나 니는 따뜻따뜻 보라 땀을 나머서트 이티 짜둘다샤흐 카는더흐 The rising sun is a Hinyankara, the risen sun is a Prasatava, midday is an Udagita, afternoon is a Pratihara, when it is set, that is a Nitana. This is the Brahadashaman as woven upon the sun. He who knows thus this Brahadashaman as woven upon the sun becomes a brilliant eater of food, reaches a full length of life, lives long, becomes great in offspring and in cattle, great in fame. One should not find fault with it when it is hot. That is his rule. One should not find fault with it when it is hot. That is his rule. Thus ends the 14th calendar. That was in Sanskrit. Okay, next and last is Mahabharata. Adi Bible, chapter 98, 104, if you're reading what is it? Ganganguli translation. I'm gonna take a break. I'm hoping that it'll be a normal chapter. I've been reading all these irregular chapters. Must be Kaima related, you know what I mean? Okay, 98. Let's hope that this is a regular chapter and not like a super long. Oh, good. 33 shlokas. That's as perfect as you get. You know, Sanskrit reading. You never know how many shlokas you're gonna get. Unless you're familiar with all the chapters, you never know how many shlokas you're gonna get. You could get 13 shlokas, or you could get, 300 shlokas. Not really. It's usually towards the beginning and the end of the chapter. I'm waving my knife. In the beginning and the end of a book, the shlokas are longer. Yeah, sometimes there are 300 shlokas in the beginning of, a certain Mahabharata books. Easily. Back to back, some back to back. And 98, 33 shlokas. So this is gonna be a very quick session, and I am gonna take my break. Yeah. Oops, sorry. Oh no, what am I doing? I am text heavy, but not that text heavy. Like 2% of the people are really, really, really text heavy people, and then the rest of us, we're like posers. I'm a tech savvy poser. Okay. 2 minutes, thank you. Okay. Double checking the translation part. Sometimes they don't match. Yeah, cool. Namaste. Pishma Ubajam. 자마다그니에나 라메나 비틀바타마 무슈어땅에 무르슈어땅. 자마다그니에나 라메나 비틀바타마 무르슈어땅에 그로도 테나 자 마하파게 아이하야 티바틀 마타흐 핫다흐. 구르드 테나 자 마하파게 하이하야 티바틀 마타흐 핫다흐. 하이하야 티바틀 핫다흐. 구르드 테나 자 마하파게 하이하야 티바틀 마타흐 핫다. I keep saying 핫 맞다. 구르드 테나 자 마하파게 하이하이. 구르드 테나 자 마하파게 하이하야 티바틀 핫다흐. 부르드 테나 자 마하파게 하하야 티바틸 하타흐 샤타니 다샤 바후남 니브르타니 알주나시야 바이 पुनश्च धनुरादाय महासुतरानुई परामुंचताम निर्दागधाम कुशतरमसकरदर्थदुरथना जयताम महिम निर्दागधाम कुशतरमसकरदुरथना कुशतरमसकरदुरथना निर्दागधाम कुशतरमसकरदुरथना जयताम महिम Evamucha Bachai Rasatrai Bharga Bena Mahatmanam Evamucha Bachai Rasatrai Bharga Bena Mahatmanam Turiho Sapata Kurutavaha Protivi Kurutang Yihakushaturiyang Purang Tattah Sampuya Salva Piha Kushatriya Piha Samanan Tattah Utpanditanya Patyani Brahmainal Niyatatma Piha Panui Grahasya Tanaya Iti Padeshu Nishichitam Taimam Manasi Samsitapya Brahmanam Sitah Samapyayuha Taimam Manasi Samsitapya Brahmanam Sitah Samapyayuha Lokapya Charitum Durashatah Kshatriyanam Punalpavaha I'm gonna read from here again, from the arrow. Taimam Manasi Samsitapyam Brahmanam Sitah Samapyayuha Lokapya Charito Drushatah Kshatriyanam Punalpavaha Once more, from the arrow. Lokapya Charito Durashatah Kshatriyanam Punalpavaha. One second. I'm gonna take a little break. I'll either start, this is 6. Either start from 6 or the one before. Okay. From the arrow. Lokapya Charito Durashatah Kshatriyanam Punalpavaha Atotatya Iti Khyata Asidati Manurushviha Purang Mamatang Nama Tasya Sid Parya Parama Samatang Udatyasya Yapiyam Sutu Purotha Sutri Divaukasama Purohasupatil Purohatutejang Mamatam Sonam Bapadyatam Upancha Mamatam Tam Tu Devaram Padatam Parama Upancha Mamatam Tam Tu Devaram Padatam Parama Anantai Batani Aham Pratran Jeshutwana Ramyatamiti 아는달바트니 아함 프라트라 제슈투아나 라미아타미티 아얌 자메 마하파가 쿠쿠샤베바 브라하스파템 아우타티오 베담 마트라이바 셔동응감 브라티아티야탐 아우타티오 베다 마트라이바 셔동응감 브라티아티야탐 아모카레타 세테밤 장아피 누남 파비투말하시 아모카레타 세테밤 장아피 누남 파비투말하시 아스마 다스마 대방은가테 디아 드바무파라미투 말하시 다스마 대방은가테 디아 드바무파라미투 말하시 다스마 대방은가테 디아 드바무파라미투 말하시 에바무쿠타스타양 사미야그 부라하트테장 부라하스파티하 까마트마남 따다트마남 나 샤샹아카 니야츠치투마 까마트마남 따다트마남 나 샤샹아카 니야츠치투마 삼바푸바 따따흐 까미 따양 살타마까마양 우투스르자는 땀투땀 레따흐 사 갈바스토 피아파쇼땀 포스탕따 까니아사 바데 드바율나 스트라 디아트라 삼파바흐 포스탕따 까니아사 바데 드바율나 스티아트라 삼파바흐 아모카 슈크라시짱 파바는 볼밤 자하미하 가타흐 샤샹아빵 땀 따따흐 꾸르드타 에바무크도 부르하스바티흐 우다티아 포트람 갈바스탐 닐파트시아 파가반으로 쇼이하 닐팔트시아 우다티아 포트람 갈파스탐 닐팔트시아 파가반으로 쇼이하 우다티아 포트람 갈파스탐 닐팔트시암 우다티아 포트람 갈파스탐 닐팔트시암 우다티아 포트람 갈파스탐 닐팔트시암 Shloka 14 once more from the arrow, second sentence. Utatya putram kalpasatam vilpaltasya bhagavanuru shviha. Utatya putram kalpasatam vilpaltasya bhagavanuru shviha. Yasama tatavami durashe kale salvapu tapasitam sati. 야스마 뜨뜨바미 드르셰 깡알레 살바푸 따푸시테 사티 에바마 뜨타 바차스 타스마 뜨타모 딜캄 프라베쿠슈야시 에바마 뜨타 바차스 타스마 뜨타모 딜캄 프라베쿠슈야시 산 마이 딜 카타망 나마 샤파드루 슈이라자 야탄 브라하스파텔 브라하트킬텔 브라하스파티리 바우자사임 Bura hasapate bura hatekil tel bura hasapatiri vaujasaim. Bura hasapate bura hatekil tel bura hasapatiri vaujasaim. Sa putranjana yama sa gautama dina mahayashaha. Brashvaruta Tyasi. Brashvaruta Tyasya Tadang Samtana Kulaburada Tayam. Lopamoha Piputa Sete Putra Setam Gautama Dayaha. Lopamoha Piputa Sete Putra Setam Gautama Dayaha. Ganashatwa Samuduge Prakushwipya Gingangayam Samavan Surajana Samavan Surajana. Ganashatwa Samuduge Prakushwipya Gangangayam Samavan Burajana Surajana Samavan Surajana. Ganashatwa Samuduge Prakushwipya Gangangayam Samabha Sarajana Samabha Sarajana Ganshatwa Samudige Prakushwipya Gangangayam Samabha Sarajana. 나 시아다는 타시자 버러드 타시자 발다비오 야미티 스마템. 나 시아다는 나 시아 나는 타실자 버르드 타실자 발다비오 야미티 스마템. 지는타 이트방 따따흐 구루랑흐 바티자그 무라토 그르하는 소누수로 따스따당 라자는 블라바마나 로슈이스 따따흐. 소누수로 따스 따당에 라자는 블라바마나 로슈이스 따따흐. 자가마 수바후는 데샤나는 타스 덴노 두베나 자가마 수바후는 데샤나나는 타임 나는 타임. 자가마 수바후는 데샤나는 타스 스테조 두베나 자가마 수바후는 데샤나는 타스. 자가마 수바후는 데샤나는 타스 테조 테노 두베나 자가마 수바후는 데샤나는 타스 테노 두베나 자가마 수바후는 데샤나는 타스 테노 두베나 땀두 라자 발릴나마 살바탈마 비샤라다흐. 아빠샤는 마주자나 갔다흐 수로타사 펴샤마 갔다메. 아빠샤는 마주자나 갔다흐 수로타사. 아빠샤는 마주자나 갔다흐 수로타사 펴샤마 갔다메. 수로타사 펴샤마. 자그랑하 짜이남 탈마테마 발리허 사티야 파라그라마허. 자그랑하 짜이남 탈마테마 발리허 사티야 파라그라마허. 진야테방 짜이남 사 바브라타 포트랄탐 아누자샤팜. 진야테방 짜이남 사 바브라탐 진야테방 짜이남 사 바브라타 포트랄탐 마누자샤팜. 삼타날탐 마하파가 파이리. 삼타날탐 마하파가 파리야수 마마 마다남 마나담. I'm gonna start from here again. 12 shlokas left. Chinyatevang Jainam Sa Baburata Puturaltam Manujashapam. samtanaltam mahabhaga paryasu mama manadam 부트라는 달말 타고 샬라누 부트라는 달말 타고 샬라누 뜻바다 이뚜 말하시 부트라는 달말 타고 샬라누 뜻 부트라는 달말 타고 샬라누 뜻바다 이뚜 말하시 부트라는 달말 타고 샬라누 뜻바다 이뚜 말하시 Eva mukutaha sa tejasavi tam tatetyukutava nushviha. I'm gonna take a break soon. 10 shlokas left. There's 1 page left. Wow. Eva mukutaha sa tejasavi tam tatetyukutava nushviha. You know what? I'm gonna take a break now. And it's home stretch. Okay. 2 minutes, thank you. Okay, 10 shlokas left. Okay. Shloka 24. Eva mukutaha sa tejasavi tam tatetyukutava nurushviha. Tasmai sa rajang sivam paryam sudashanam prahinot tadayam. Tasmai sa rajang sivam paryam sudashanam prahinot tadayam. Anantam Buddhatam Jang Tam Matavang Na Sang Devi Jagamaha Sivam Tu Tatari Yikam Tasumai Buddhataya Prahinotadaya. Okay. Sivam Tu Sivam tu tatrayikam tasmai buddhataya prahinotadang. Tasyam kakushvi badadinansa shudrayona varushvashadvashi. Shudrayona varushvashadvashi. From the arrow, Shloka 26. Tasyam kakushvi badadinansa shudrayona varushvashadvashi. Tasyam kakushvi badadinansa shudrayona varushvashadvashi. Janayamasa dharmatamai putra neka dashaivatum. 강구수이 바다디는 부드람 스타는 들으셨더방에 살바나티야따흐 우방장 담으로 수임 랑장 마마이땅 이티 비리아바는 우방장 담으로 수임 랑장 마마이땅 이티 비리아바는 네티우방장 마하슈이스담 마메바이땅 이티 부르바는 Shloka 28 Netyuvangachan Maharshvisitam Mamai iti Bruvane Netyuvangachan Maharshvisitam Mamai iti Bruvane Netyuvangachan Maharshvisitam Mamai iti Bruvane Shudrayonau Mayang Hime Jatang Kakushvi Badayata Dayah Kakushvi Badayah Shudrayonau Mayang Hime Jatang Jatah Shudrayonau Mayang Hime Jatah Kakushvi Badayah Shudrayonau Mayang Hime Jatah Kakushvi Badayah Anantam Buddha, I'm gonna say this again out of love. Shudrayonau Mayang Hime Jatah Kakushvi Badayah Anantam Buddha Tam Meow Anantam Buddha Tam Anantam Buddha Tam Jang Mang Matavang Sudeshuna Mahishwi Davang Anantam Buddha Tam Jang Mang Matavang Sudeshuna Mahishwi Davang Avamanya Tadao Mudha Shudram Tatrayikam Hime Tataha Prasadayamasa Punasata Murushri Satatamama Baliha Sudashanam Pariyam Ja Dasamaitam Brahinota Punaha I want to read it again. Shloka 30 again. Alright, 4 shlokas left. Home stretch. And I lost my... So typical. Oh no, I'm lost. Okay, backing up one. Shloka 29. Anantam Buddha Tam Ja Mam Matavang Sudashuna Mahishwi Davam Avamanya Dadao Mutwa Shudram Drayikam Hime Tatra Avamanya Dadao Mutwa Shudram Tatrayikam Hime Avamanya Tadao Mutwa Shudram Tatrayikam Hime Tataha Prasadayamasa Punasata Murushvi Satatamama Tataha Prasadayamasa Punasata Murushvi Satatamama Baliha Sudashanam Pariyam Jatasamaitam Brahinota Punaha Baliha Sudashanam Pariyam Jatasamaitam Brahinota Punaha Tam Sa Dilkatas Tamangangeshu Tam Sa Dilkama Sabta Tam Sa Dilkatamangangeshu Sapurashatavanga Devi Matabravita Pavishyati Kumara Bhavishyati Kumarasate Tejasavi Satyavagitim. Bhavishyati Kumarasate Tejasavi Satyavagitim. Okay, two more. Tatragango Nama Rajashviha Sudeshana Yamajayatam Evamanye Maheshivan Sange Brahmanoiha Kushatriyan Puvi Jataha Paramathaima Jataha Paramathaima Jinyan Vidyavananto Mahabalaha Etache Churutavang Devama Piatra Mataha Guru Yatapusitama Etache Churutavang Devama Piatra Mata Etache Churutavang Devama Piatra Mataha Guru Yatapusitama Yatapusitama Etache Churutavang Devama Piatra Mataha Guru Yatapusitama. Namaste. Yay. If you came by just to listen to me read Sanskrit, I am not reading any more Sanskrit except for Manantras for the day. Yeah, that's it. No more Sanskrit. So yeah, I'm just gonna read a translation. Taking a 1 minute break, and as usual, I'm gonna just go through the translation. I am not gonna scrutinize, not analyzing, nothing. I hate the fact that they are adding words in between parentheses or whatever. You know, there should be nothing added unless you don't know shit about Aryan Sanskrit. Anyway, that's the truth. You know, if you don't know shit about Aryan Sanskrit, then yeah, you need all these addendum, additional, you know, supply, you know, to helpers. You need little helpers to help you through. But if you know Aryan Sanskrit, these little fucking shits are just fucking pain in the ass. Period. Okay, 1 minute. Thank you. So I'm gonna get through. My point is, I'm gonna get through the translation as quickly as possible. I mean, the text is right there. You know, it's not like even if I misread a lot of like half of the sentence, you could still see what I'm reading. So I'm not gonna stress it. So I'll take a 2 minute break and get through the translation as quickly as possible. So it's 33 shlokas. That'll take me about 15 minutes from now. From when I get back, it's 2 minutes from now. So yeah, in about 15 minutes, it's finished. Thank you. Have a if you just came by to listen to, you know, Aryan Sanskrit, I am not reading any more Sanskrit. I am Sanskrited out. I'm done. I'm done with Sanskrit except for Manantras. Okay, so 2 minutes. Thank you. Here we go. Mahabharata Adi Bhaiva, which is book 1. There are 18 books in Mahabharata. The most famous one, Bhagavad Gita, comes from book 5, which is Bhishma Bhaiva. This is Adi Bhaiva. Chapter 98, or Ganguly translation, The most popular translation in English came about it's almost a century ago. Okay, reading. I just can't believe it's so quick today. This session usually lasts about 4 hours. It's crazy. I still don't get too tired, but I get fatigued at the soul level. If it's 4 hours, my soul gets fatigued. I don't get physically tired as much, which is a feat in itself, a feat, if you will, a feat in itself. Okay, here we go. Translation, chapter 98 or 104 in Gangan. Bhishma continued. In olden days, Rama, the son of Jamadagni, in anger at the death of his father, slew with his battle axe the king of the Hyayas. And Rama, by cutting off the 1,000 arms of Arjuna, achieved the most difficult feat in the world. Not content with this, he set out on his chariot for the conquest of the world, and taking up his bow, he cast around his mighty weapons to exterminate the Kshatriyas. And the illustrious scion of the Phrugu race, by means of his swift arrows, exterminated the Kshatriya tribe for 120 times. And when the earth was thus deprived of Kshatriyas by that great Rashvi, the Kshatriya ladies all over the land raised up offspring by means of Brahmanas skilled in the Vedas. It has been said in the Vedas that the son so raised belongeth to him that hath married the mother. And the Kshatriya ladies went unto the Brahmanas not lustfully, but from motives of virtue. And indeed, it was thus that the Kshatriya race was revived. In this connection, there's another old history that I will recite to you. There was in olden days a wise Rashvi of name Udatyam. He had a wife of name Mamatangam, whom he dearly loved. One day, Udatya's younger brother, Brahaspati, the Purohita of the celestials, and endued with great energy, approached Mamatangam. The latter, however, told her husband's younger brother, that first of eloquent men, that she had conceived from her connection with his elder brother, and that therefore he should not seek then for the consummation of his wishes. She continued, O thou illustrious Brahaspati, the child that I have conceived hath studied in his mother's womb the Vedas with the 6 Angangas. Semen tum purutsuta perdi non potes. Why is Latin there? I don't understand this. How shall then this womb of mine afford room for 2 children at the same time? Therefore it behoveth thee not to seek for the consummation of thy desire at such a time. Thus addressed by her, Brahaspati, though possessed of great wisdom, succeeded not in suppressing his desire. So they are spelling it out in Latin because it's actually promiscuous otherwise. Cum otem jam cum illa coiturus asat. The child in the womb then addressed him and said, O father, cease in thy attempt. There is not space here for 2. O thou illustrious one, the room is small. I have occupied it before. Semen tum perdi non potest. It behoveth thee not to afflict me. But Brahaspati, without listening to what that child in the womb said, sought the embraces of Mamatanga, possessing the most beautiful pair of eyes. Oh God. They should translate it. They should not fucking make it whatever the fuck they're doing here. Ille tamen muni qui inventer erat id punctum temporis quo humor vitalis jam emissum iret provident biam per quam semen iterare posset pedibus obstrusit semen ita exclusum extidit et in terram projectum est, whatever. And the illustrious Brahaspati, beholding this, became indignant, and reproaching Udatya's child, cursed him, saying, "Because thou hast spoken to me in the way thou hast, at a time of pleasure that is sought after by all creatures, perpetual darkness shall overtake thee." And from this curse of the illustrious Brahaspati, Udatya's child was equal unto Brahaspati in energy, was born blind, and came to be called Dilkatama, enveloped in perpetual darkness. And the wise Trigatama, possessing a knowledge of the Vedas, though born blind, succeeded yet, for the sake of his learning, in obtaining for wife a young and handsome Brahminui maiden by name of Pradabeshi, and having married her, the illustrious Dilkatama, for the expansion of Udatya's race, begat upon her several children, with Gautama as their eldest. These children, however, were all wedded to covetousness and folly. The virtuous and illustrious Dilkatama, possessing complete mastery over the Vedas. I'm getting tired. Okay. 1.5 pages left. The virtuous and illustrious Dilkatama, possessing complete mastery over the Vedas, soon after learnt from Suravi's son the practices of their order, and fearlessly betook to those practices, regarding them with reverence. Then those best of Munis that dwelt in the same asylum, beholding him transgressing the limits of propriety, became indignant, seeing sin where sin was not. And they said, "Oh, this man transgresseth the limits of propriety. No longer doth he deserve a place amongst us. Therefore shall we all cast off the sinful wretch." And they said many other things regarding the Muni Dilkatama. And his wife too, having obtained children, became indignant with him. The husband then, addressing his wife Pradabeshi, said, "Why is it that thou also hast been dissatisfied with me?" His wife answered, "The husband is called a Valtang because he supporteth the wife. He is called Pati because he protecteth her. But thou art neither to me. O thou of great ascetic merit, on the other hand, as thou hast been blind from birth, I it is who have supported thee and thy children. I shall not do so in future. Hearing these words of his wife, the Rashri became indignant, and said unto his wife with her children, "Take me unto the Kshatriyas, and thou shalt then be rich." His wife replied by saying, "I desire not wealth that may be procured by thee, for that can never bring me happiness. O thou best of Brahmanas, do as thou likest. I shall not be able to maintain thee as before." At these words of his wife, Dilkatama said, I establish from this day the rule that every woman shall have to adhere to one husband for her life. If the husband be dead or alive, it shall not be lawful for a woman to have connection with another, and she who may have such connection shall certainly be regarded as fallen. I'm gonna read it again. Getting tired. 1.5 pages left. And she who may have such connection shall certainly be regarded as fallen. A woman without husband shall always be liable to be sinful, and even sorry, I'm about to curse. Dear God, let the curse be fallen upon whoever the fuck that is. In King Yahusha's name, Āmēn. Okay, here we go. And she who may have such connection shall certainly be regarded as fallen. I'm gonna take a break. The fucking asshole tells me to be quiet. Meanwhile, he's making fucking stupid fucking noises. Harassing me. He's fucking harassing me. This fucking sand nigger is harassing me. The fucking sand nigger is harassing me. Alright, so I'm gonna try to rush because I don't want to get involved. If you're a rapist or a murderer, why are you living? Why are you breathing oxygen? I don't understand this. Here we go. From the Arab. O thou best of Brahmanas, do as thou likest. I shall not be able to maintain thee as before. At these words of his wife, the Khatama said, I establish from this day the rule that every woman shall have to adhere to one husband for her life. If the husband be dead or alive, it shall not be lawful for a woman to have connection with another, and she who may have such connection shall certainly be regarded as fallen. A woman without husband shall always be liable to be sinful, and even if she hath wealth, she shall not be able to enjoy it truly. Calumny and evil report shall ever follow in her wake. Hearing these words of her husband, Bradabashi became very angry and commanded her sons, saying, Throw him into the waters of the Gangan. And at the command of their mother, the wicked Gautama and the other brothers, those slaves of covetousness, and at the command of their mother, the wicked Gautama and the other brothers, those slaves of covetousness and folly, exclaiming, Indeed, why should we support this old man? Tie the Muni on a raft, and committing him to the mercy of the stream, returned home without compunction. The blind old man drifting along the stream on that raft passed through the territories of many kings. One day, a king of name Bali, conversant with every duty, went into the Ganges for performing his ablutions. And as the monarch was thus engaged, the raft on which the Rashri was approached him. And as it came, the king took up the old man. The virtuous Bali, ever devoted to truth, then, learning who the man was that was thus saved by him, chose him for raising up offspring. And Bali said, O thou illustrious one, it behoveth thee to raise in my wife a few sons that shall be virtuous and wise. Thus addressed, the Rashri, endued with great energy, expressed his willingness. Thereupon King Vali sent his wife Sudeshna unto the Rashri. But the queen, knowing that the latter was blind and old, went not unto him. Instead, she sent unto him her nurse. And upon that Shudra woman, the virtuous Rashri of passions, under full control, begat 11 children, of whom Kakoshivan was the eldest. And beholding those 11 sons, with Kakoshivan as the eldest, who had studied all the Vedas, and who, like Rashris, were utterers of Brahma, and possessed of great power, King Vali one day asked the Rashri, saying, Are these children mine? The Rashri replied, No, they are mine. Kakoshivan and others have been begotten by me upon a Shudra woman. Thy unfortunate queen, Sudeshna, seeing me blind and old, insulted me by not coming herself, but sending unto me instead her nurse. The king then pacified the best of Rashris, and sent unto him his queen, Sudeshna. The Rashri, by merely touching her person, told her, Thou shalt have 5 children, named Anganga, Banganga, Kalinganga, Punundra, and Sumunpa, who shall be like Thou shalt have 5 children named Anganga, Banganga, Kalinganga, Punundra, and Sumunpa, who shall be like unto Surya himself in glory. And after their names as many countries shall be known on earth. It is after their names that their dominions have come to us called it is after their names that their dominions have come to be called Anganga, Banganga, Kalinganga, Punundra, and Sumunpa. It was thus that the line of Bali was perpetuated, in days of old, by a great Rashri. And it was thus also that many mighty bowmen and great charioteers, wedded to virtue, sprung in the Kshatriya tribe from the seed of Brahmanas. Hearing this, O mother, do as thou likest as regards the matter in hand. Thus ends the 104th. This is not in Sanskrit. Okay, I'm done. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Oh, and Hare Krishna Mantra chanting at 8 p.m. tonight. Thank you. Namaste.